May Day is right around the corner. Stay tuned, let's talk about it. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video by Pan Society. I'm Cherie, and today I want to talk about May Day celebrations because it's right around the corner. Even though we have been in some kind of quarantine or social distancing or shelter in place mandate for the last few weeks to a month or more, there's still ways that we can observe the holy days and celebrate them. Our situation shouldn't stop, and in fact it might liven our spirits and help us out a little bit better and bring a little bit of joy and happiness. May Day is also known by other names depending on whatever your cultural practices or spiritual practices are. It's just for Pan Society, that's how we call it. It's celebrated on May 1st, and that's when that's the time that the veil is the thinnest between our mortal realm and the spiritual or fairy realm. So, and this is in the spring because that happens again in the fall. One of the big things that is associated with May Day is the maypole. I'm sure everybody's seen or actually participated in doing a maypole, and it's this huge pole set out with ribbons and everybody dances and intertwines in it. Now, we don't have to not do that. We can actually scale it down and bring it inside the house to celebrate, especially if you have children, because it'll give them something to do as well. So you can scale it down to the size of a mop or a broomstick, or even a plunger if that fits inside your space. So it doesn't matter how big it is, it's still there and you're still participating in it in a way. Now, one of the other things are the bonfires at night. And now, not a lot of us had access to that in the first place, but if you have a fireplace, by all means, feel free to use it. It's pretty toasty, so we're not going to be using ours. But candles work just as well. It's still a flame. So you can have a couple of candles set out and use those as your bonfire. Just make sure you keep all safety practices in check so that just in case something happens, you're protected. And that's with any ritual that you're doing or any practice or celebration you're having. The next one is the altar, and everybody can participate in this. What does your altar look like? What is on your altar? This is that time for spring fertility. You're thinking about all the flowers that are coming up right now, the narcissus, lavenders, things that are blooming right now, those can go on your altar. Sweet things that are tributes to the fairies, because fairies like sweets and milk and things like that. And also whatever idols or statues that you would like for whatever path that you follow, you can have those represented as well on your altar as you're decorating. This is also that time to practice sex rituals or sex magic, because this is that fertility time. So if that's within your realm or something you've been thinking about, that energy is perfect and ripe for now. So keeping that in mind, you can do that. Another thing, depending on how close your neighbors are or how far away, maybe a drum circle in your living room, you can tone it down or pad your instruments so that they're not making so much noise or that they're not that loud. Or if you don't have any neighbors, by all means, go hog wild. There are tons of things that you can do that are alternatives to doing the big versions out in parks or out when you're meeting with other people. Now, you can also do Zoom rituals, which I'm getting intrigued by every day because people are just so amazing and creative on these, and it's still a way to connect, but we're still observing those social distancing rules. Another thing that I love doing right now is if I'm making food, like this is my indulgent time, and it's kind of for all of us, I guess, right now because of social distancing, but indulging in those sweets and stuff. And for me, it's like honey treats, things made with honey, because I associate the explosion of the bee population and all that juiciness that's happening this time with the honey. So I'm thinking about that at the time. So I like baking things with honey or using honey and everything, and even having that on my altar as well. So there's so many other ways to celebrate and observe May Day during this time. I'm so interested in hearing how you're practicing or how you're celebrating, or what other creative ways you have, especially you know, with the social distancing, if you have children, and just other ways that you're doing it. Comment down below, let me know. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the next pan video.